It began the night the lights went out in the White House, not because of a storm, but because someone decided they should. Doors closed, staff dismissed, and the man elected to lead America walked away. When Donald Trump told his aides to go home, it wasn't an order of confidence. It was surrender, dressed as swagger. The heart of American power went silent. Agencies froze, paychecks stopped, and millions of ordinary people braced for the shock of a government that had turned its back. While the Capitol dimmed, Trump boarded his plane to Florida, vacation mode on the taxpayer's dime. The White House went dark. Palm Beach glowed brighter. He told reporters, "The Democrats just don't know what they're doing." But it wasn't the Democrats who told America to stop working. It wasn't the Democrats who walked out. This wasn't leadership. It was abandonment. Back in D.C., the House gavelled out. Whispers filled the halls. We might adjourn again. Paralysis disguised itself as process. Parks closed. Museums locked their doors. Social security lines grew longer. Food banks overflowed. And still, Florida stayed on vacation. When Trump faced the cameras, he stumbled through his sentences, but he never stumbled on blame. They have to open up the country, he said, as though leadership belonged to someone else. He spoke of unity, but offered none. He promised solutions, but brought slogans. Then he changed the subject to his favorite punching bag, the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare is a disaster, he said, again and again. No plan, no fix, just noise. Then came Halloween, the night his priorities became undeniable. While children trick-or-treated, ICE raids swept through neighborhoods. Families hid behind doors as fear replaced laughter on the streets. And from Florida, Trump smiled into the camera and said, "Happy Halloween." That wasn't public safety. That was cruelty, turned into theater. Pain used as leverage. Next came foreign policy, or the illusion of it. Trump boasted that Canada's prime minister had apologized to him over a fake Ronald Reagan ad. He rambled about tariffs and dinners. But while he spoke, Canada was meeting with Xi Jinping. The world had already moved on. Then he teased something darker. Underground nuclear testing. No plan, no context, just provocation. And as the shutdown deepened, he posted about marble, about columns, about the Lincoln bedroom and the Lincoln bathroom. Gold handles, polished stone, designer shine. While families opened letters mourning that healthcare costs might double, he posted pictures of bathroom fixtures. Even his allies couldn't hide their shock. "I cannot believe what the toilet bowl looked like," one said. And that became the metaphor of the moment. The palace gleamed, the people starved. Then came the truth. Trump's team claimed the law prevented them from funding SNAP, the food aid that keeps millions from hunger. He wrote, "Our lawyers say we don't have the authority," but that was a lie. One court had already ruled he could. Another simply demanded a plan. There was no confusion, only refusal. Instead of feeding families, he posted excuses and even published Senator Schumer's phone number, as if doxing were leadership. Behind the scenes, the Department of Agriculture quietly deleted web pages confirming that contingency funds could be used in emergencies. Facts erased, people unfed. Then, an advisor slipped. Kevin Hassett admitted on television that they were about to raid emergency disaster funds to buy food. Money meant for hurricanes, for pandemics, now used to fix a crisis created by the president himself. That was the design. Create the crisis, block the solution, call the cure too costly, and use the chaos to demand more power. By then, the cost was everywhere. Contractors unpaid, veterans waiting, scientists silenced mid-research, parents skipping bills to keep the lights on. And somewhere in Florida, Trump still called it negotiation. But this wasn't negotiation. It was hostage-taking. And the hostages were ordinary Americans. Even in crisis, the spectacle never stopped. He amplified J.D. Vance. He ignored the Kash Patel scandal, the jet, the girlfriend, the taxpayer bill that burned at $1,000 an hour. When the headlines got too close, they staged a press event in Michigan. Crisis PR on the public dime. Break something, revel in the chaos, then change the channel. That was the rhythm. Courts ruled. He stalled. He called it prudence. It was delay, dressed as leadership. Hunger, dressed as policy. Then came the line that revealed everything. When you talk about SNAP, he said. "You're talking about Democrats." As if food had a party, as if hunger belonged to one side. But millions of his own supporters relied on the same help. This wasn't politics, it was cruelty made systemic. Through it all, the rhythm never changed. Post the marble, post the columns, post the toilet. Sell the image of grandeur while the nation fell apart behind the curtain. He treated the White House like a movie set, the Kennedy Center like a showroom, the country like a brand, and the people like background extras to be dismissed when the scene wrapped. The government shutdown wasn't policy. It was performance, and every performance has a cost. This one was paid by everyone else. And that is how a government built by the people was turned into a stage for one man's vanity. The lights didn't go out that night because the power failed. They went out because power walked away.
This is only the surface. There's far more beneath the silence. Details too dark and too deep for one video. Stay with us for more inside secrets, because we're not telling you everything here. To read the full story, the link is waiting for you in the description.